Repenting on a daily basis. You better thank the Most High some of us brothers repented, because we probably be robbing you niggas and checking your pockets. You know what I'm saying?
All right, first of all, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ, whose name in the Hebrew is Hamashiach Yahushua. We are the Servants Assembly, and we come with another lesson on the Shabbat. The name of this lesson is going to be called Famine of the Word and Making Haste in These Last Days, right? So we're going to start with the book of Isaiah, that 54 and 17. Isaiah 54 and 17.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 54 and verse 17. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord.
This is the what?
The heritage of the servants of the Lord.
Right, because this is the heritage of the servants of the Lord. Right? Read.
And their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord.
Right. So with that, we're going to go into Isaiah chapter 55 and verse 6.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 55 and verse 6. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found.
Do what?
Seek ye the Lord while he may be found.
Right, because a lot of Israelites in these last days, they not seeking the Most High while he may be found. Right? You know, we coming into a point in the earth where you're not going to be able to kind of do what you want to do. You know, the scriptures being taken away from us. You know, you're not allowed to teach the Bible in schools anymore. The children don't know who the Most High is, right? And you know, right now you have to seek the Lord while he may be found. You have to seek out the servants of the Lord while they still on the streets, while they still walking about, while they still posted up, while they still putting videos out, because at some point you won't have that anymore. Go ahead.
Call ye upon him while he is near.
Call upon while he's near. He's on the earth right now. The Most High is making all different types of catastrophes and all different types of wars going on right now. The Most High's hand is heavy on the earth right now as we live. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 7. Let the wicked forsake his ways.
Let the wicked do what?
Forsake his way.
Right. So let the wicked forsake his ways.
And the unrighteous man his thoughts. And let him return unto the Lord.
Right. So how do you return unto the Lord? Hold that. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 8. Because the scripture says you must return unto the Lord. But how do you return unto the Lord? There's a way that you do that. Right? Good.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 8. And thou shalt return and obey the voice of the Lord. And do all his commandments.
Some of them.
All his commandments, which I command thee this day.
Keep going.
Verse 8. And thou shalt return and obey. Salakia. Verse 9. And the Lord thy God will make thee plenteous in every work of thy hand, in the fruit of thy body,
your children,
and in the fruit of thy cattle,
your cattle,
and in the fruit of thy land,
the fruit of thy land, your increase,
for good.
For what?
For good.
Right. So that's how you return unto the Lord, by keeping his commandments, by going back and keeping all of his commandments, not some of them. All right. Now rest there, and let's get Sirach chapter 5 and 1. All right. Because, you know, right now, everybody's docile, everybody's happy. You know, everybody thinks that this world is going to just continue at some point it's going to get better. At some point it's going to get back to the way it was. But do anybody remember a time when this earth was actually good? No. Can anybody remember a time when so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans just wasn't in captivity? Like, you know, if you're expecting it to get back to the United States of the past, then that's not where you want to go. Because if that's where you want to go, that's definitely not where you want to go. Go ahead.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 5 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Set thy heart upon thy goods,
Mm-hmm.
and say not, I have enough for my life.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2. Follow not thy own mind in thy strength.
Right, because a lot of you Jakes and you Eves, you follow your own mind. You know, you think you have an understanding more than the Most High. You think you know what's coming up next. You think that the moves you making is gonna bless you in some kind of way. Well, but the Most High, he has a set regiment that he laid out for you to go by. Right? He set out laws, statutes, and commandments. If you think that you could do it on your own, why haven't you made it yet? Why is it that you having to keep redoing everything and rebuilding? Because the way that you're choosing is not the way of the Most High. You don't agree with the commandments. You don't want to do what the Lord asks you to do. Right? Go ahead.
To walk in the ways of thy heart.
Mm-hmm. You walk in the ways of your mind. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And say not, who shall control me for my works?
Say what?
Who shall control me for my works?
So say not, who shall control me for my works? Who's gonna say something to me by being wicked? Eating shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. Tricking off, right? Being a demon in the house. Disrespecting the elders. Murdering your own people. Loving on the so-called white man. Loving on the so-called white woman. Giving marriage to these other nations. Say not in your mind, who's going to stop me? Because there's somebody there to stop you. Right? And that's what's going on now. People thinking that they can do whatever they want to do. Go ahead.
For the Lord will surely revenge thy pride.
He going to do what?
Revenge thy pride.
The Most High is going to get you for your pride. He will he said he will what?
Revenge.
He will, from the top, he will what? He will surely.
Oh man. And say not, who shall control me for my works? And the Lord will surely revenge thy pride.
He will surely. So what does surely mean? That means a definite. He will definitely revenge your pride. Your pride, you got your chest up in the air. You thinking that you ain't got to keep the commandments. You don't care about the servants of the Lord. You walking through camp. You're cussing people out. You're telling them they can't. They don't know the scriptures. You understand? You're doing whatever you want to do, right? And it's going to be a time when this word is not going to be here. It's not going to be attainable. It's not going to be something that you can just go and open up a book and have an understanding. Right now, without guidance, you can't understand the scriptures. So imagine that there's no men on the streets. There's no men ducked off teaching you. There's no men putting videos out. When the Most High take that spirit off the earth to want to teach you, right? To want to teach people, right? When that spirit comes off the earth, it's going to be a famine. Not a food, even though that's coming also, but the chief famine is going to be the famine of the spirit of the word. When you running to and fro trying to ask somebody who know the scriptures, who know the law, you asking people who don't have knowledge. You asking people who do have knowledge. And you know what they're going to tell you? Hey, the book is sealed. That's it. So get it while you can. Make haste while you can. Keep reading. Mm-hmm.
Verse 4. Say not, I have sinned.
Mm-hmm.
And what harm have happened unto me?
Say what? Say it again.
Say not, I have sinned. And what harm have happened unto me?
So say not that I have sinned and what's going to happen to me for that. Man, you know, that's how Eve and Jake is.
Exactly.
I done freaked off. I done had an orgy with this man's wife. I done freaked off with this woman's husband. Ain't nothing happened to me yet.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing happened to me yet. So that's the mind that these people have. Why do they have that mind? Give me the precept. Damn, I thought I had it here. Precept 8 and 11. I think it's
Ecclesiastes.
It's fully setting them to do wickedness because judgment is not executed speedily.
Yeah, I think. Hold on.
I think it's 8 and 11. I had that. Because because what happens is you think because the Most High ain't got up with you. See, now back in the day you wouldn't have that spirit. Back in the days the Most High would have done got up with you by now. He would have had the men, the children and the men stone you to death for the things that you do. But being that we have grace, the Most High gives you a time period to get this thing together. So now you think you done got away with it, right? And that's the reason why you continue in wickedness. Give me that precept.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8 and verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
Because sentence against an evil...
Now, what's the sentence? When you go to jail, what they give? They give you a sentence. They tell you what you did, and then they give you a certain time to serve that sentence for what you did. They're not getting sentenced. Nobody, the Most High is not sentencing nobody for doing what they're doing. Not that they could tell, because it's not happening right away. You know what I'm saying? Even though the Most High, he is passing judgment, but being that it's not happening expediently, it's not happening quick. They doing certain things, and then they getting by over time, just getting by. And what's happening is they getting comfortable in their sins. And that's the problem right now. Go ahead. Say it again. Read that again.
The book Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily.
An evil work, tricking off, just doing all levels of wickedness, homosexuality, men dealing with men, beasts, eating all kind of abominable food, just all levels of wicked and evil. It's not being taken care of. The Most High, he's letting you build them things up. He's building. The more you build up, the more punishment you get. Just like the Most High did with these nations before he destroyed them. Like Esau, he's letting Esau build up to the point where he's going to eradicate all of them. It's not going to be no, this and that. Nah, he's getting to heaven. Right. So let's go back to Sirach 5.
5 and 11.
5 and 5.
5 and 5.
Okay.
All right. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 5 and verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Concerning propitiation.
So concerning propitiation. Now, propitiation is atonement, right? That's when you make an atonement for what you've done, or you make a reconciliation back to the Most High for what you've done, right? So this is what it's concerning. So concerning atonement and reconciliation, read.
It say, be not without fear to add sin unto sin.
Be not what?
Be not without fear to add sin unto sin.
Because that's what you do. That's what you do. You add sin unto sin, right? Don't be without fear to do that. You do it fearlessly, because you know that the Most High is not getting up with you. So you every day you wake up, you just finna do something. There's nothing that's saying, don't do that. Don't do that. You're gonna be put to death for that, right? There's nothing happening to you. So the Lord said, be not without fear to add sin unto sin, right? So let me get hold that and give me Sirach chapter 17 and verse 25.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 17 and verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
Return unto the Lord, and forsake thy sins.
And do what?
Forsake thy sins.
The Most High said, forsake your sins. That means to hate that thing. Hate them sins, man. Don't just keep adding on to your sins, becoming worse and worse, and waxing worse and worse as you become older. Because the Most High, all at one time, he'll swoop down and take you away from here. Right? The Most High don't play no games. So the Most High said, look, he thinking to himself, this joker ain't got no fear of me. This joker just gonna keep on doing whatever he want to do. She gonna keep tricking off and doing whatever she want to do. You done came into the truth, now you done fell out of the truth. Now you just gonna continue on. So now you're not even repenting, you're just adding sin unto sin. Right? Keep reading.
Make thy prayer before his face, and offend less.
And do what?
Offend less.
So that's the key point. The key point is to offend less. When you add sin unto sin, you adding to your offense towards the Lord. If you go into the prayer of Manasseh, he said, I've added offenses onto offenses, right? You got your you ain't got your pocket for what you doing.
Yeah, I do.
Give me the prayer of Manasseh real quick, just to drive that point home, right? Because the King Manasseh, he added sin upon sin. He did not offend less, right? Let me see. Read right there where it says, "For I have sinned above the number." Right there.
For I have sinned what?
Right here. Right there. For I have sinned.
Okay.
Go ahead.
For I have sinned above the number of the sand of the sea. My transgressions, O Lord, are multiplied.
They what?
Are multiplied.
He multiplying offenses and transgressions. He ain't slowed down. He continuing to multiply. Go ahead.
My transgressions are multiplied, and I am not worthy to behold and see the height of heaven for the multitude of my iniquities.
For the multitude of mine iniquities. So that's enough on that. But that's the point that we driving home is that when you add sin to sin, you kind of leave the Lord without he doesn't have a choice but to do certain things and treat you a certain kind of way. You're not concerning propitiation, which is atonement. You're not making any atonement for those things. You're not reconciling your spirit back unto the Lord. You just continuing to just dig a hole deeper and deeper. And then now you're in it. You're in that hole now. And the Most High, he's not going to have any mercy. So let's go back to Sirach 5 and start from verse 6.
The book of Sirach, chapter 5 and verse 6. And say not his mercy is great. He will be pacified for the multitude of my sins. No,
don't say that the Most High's mercy is great. Don't think in your mind that the Most High got so much mercy that what you do is gonna be pacified by the Lord. Don't put that in your mind. Yes, the Lord is long suffering, but don't get it in your mind that you could just do what the hell you want to do because the Most High has so much mercy for you. Right? Because he's gonna flip the script on you. Go ahead, read.
For mercy and wrath come from him.
For mercy and wrath come from the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So just because you getting mercy from him, but at the end of the day, don't forget that he's a God of wrath too. He's balanced. He's not always going to keep having mercy on your bull, man. It just is what it is. The Most High, he has his time where he just going to take you up off the earth. You be riding somewhere, all of a sudden you off the side of the road. Somewhere you know what I mean? You in the lake somewhere. Because he's sick of it. How many times the Most High spoke to Moses and said, look, I'm sick of these people. Right? If it wasn't for Moses and a lot of these mediators between us and the Most High, we would be gone long time. We would already be dead. Because he didn't have the patience for that. But again, everything was still written. He was going to do it. But at the end of the day, this is just to show you that don't test the Most High and his mercy, because he's a God of mercy and wrath, right? So from that, let's get Jeremiah 16 and verse 16. Because right now, what we doing, we out here, we trying to bid y'all back to the marriage. We out here on the highways and hedges. We doing videos. We posting up videos. And these things right here is needed to bid Israel back to the marriage. But there's gonna come a time where you're not gonna see us out here like this. Go ahead.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 16 and verse 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers. I will
do what?
I will send for many fishers.
Right, start right there. So that's what the Most High did. Through the Spirit in some of our situations, he woke us up. He sent a decree out for fishers. Men that would sacrifice they job, sacrifice their family, sacrifice the love, the so-called love of our family to come out here, to sacrifice the so-called love of the so-called white man, right? To stand out here bold as lions and wolves, right? Against the so-called white man, right? And those things, so that's what the Most High sent for. He sent for fishers, right? So that's what we're doing right now. We're hoping to bid and hook your spirit, back to the Most High and reconcile your spirit back to the Most High by Shem Yahushua. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord, and they shall fish them.
And we gonna fish them. That's what we doing for the four corners of the earth. You go all over into these the UK. You got folks in Trinidad teaching. You got folks in different parts of Jamaica teaching. You got folks down in Alabama, Las Vegas, wherever. Different parts of West Africa, Ghana, waking up the remnant of Israel that's over there. You understand? So we fishing. Go ahead. But after that, there's an after. Go ahead.
Will I send for many hunters?
Many what?
Many hunters.
Many what?
Many hunters.
Many hunters. So we gonna be done fishing. And what are these hunters gonna do?
Hunt.
Read.
And they shall hunt them from every mountain.
All these different nations, these heathens, Jake that don't want to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, Eve that been cussing at the brothers at camp, coming through. F y'all.
Yeah, come.
The Most High love everybody. Not having any proof, can't go into the Bible and prove it. Just demons, man. Just straight demons. The Most High is gonna come back, and he's gonna download the spirit in our mind. Cause right now we not mad enough. We're not mad enough to do what the Most High wants us to do. But when the Most High downloads His spirit, for lack of better words, then we'll be setting our mind to get out here and really reap for the Most High. And we're not gonna care nothing about, you tried to bring me into the truth one time. Why you doing this to me now? Because it's time for that. I was a fisherman first time you seen me, but now I'm a hunter. No similar, and I'll never put myself on the level of Yahushua, neither one of us. But at the end of the day, what was Yahushua when he was here? He was a lamb. But when he come back, what is he gonna be? He's a lion. The conquering lion of Judah, right? So things is going to change over time. And you're not going to be able to get this knowledge. We're not going to want to give it to you. Because the Most High is going to take it out of our spirit to want to still teach you. Because you didn't want to. By this time, the word going to been and went out to the four corners of the earth, pursuant to the book of Isaiah, the 61st chapter. It's going to been and went out by then. And you're going to been and heard it already. And your chance of reconciliation is going to be done. It's going to be over. Can you read?
And from every hill.
Uh-huh.
And out of the holes of the rocks.
In the holes of the rocks. You so-called Edomites, you rich Rockefellers, you so-called you small hats. All of y'all. You're going to be searched out in that day. Pursuant to the book of Obadiah. It says, how is Edom searched out? Roughly paraphrasing. All of them gonna be searched out at that day. They're evils. The Most High is gonna send us with a vicious spirit. We gonna be damn foaming at the mouth trying to get at Esau, man. Trying to get at Jake, man.
All praise.
Foaming.
All praise.
But when you first met us, we was what? We was harmless as the dove, but wise as the serpent. But this time it's going to be a different time, right? Read a little bit more.
Verse 17. For my eyes are upon all their ways.
Because the Most High, you think that the Most High don't see what you're doing? What? But the scripture say the eyes of the Most High is 10,000 times brighter than the sun. The Most High got the angels just floating around, just watching everything you do, snitching. Going right back to the Lord, snitching. I'm going to use that word. They snitching. And they don't care. It ain't no snitch rule. They understand? Ain't no snitches get stitches. There ain't none of that. They finna do what they do. It is what it is. They got orders of the Most High. He has the top billing, okay? And that top billing is gonna be what it is, man. Okay? Now you can rest right there. Okay. Let me get real quick. Let me get Amos 8 and 11. Y'all think y'all gonna get away with that? But the time is drawing nigh for you to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. For you to come back to the Lord and receive His glory, which is the understanding, which is the law, statutes, and commandments. Go ahead.
It's the book of Amos, chapter 8 and verse 11. Mm-hmm. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord God, that I will send a famine in the land.
Do what? Why would do what?
Send a famine in the land. Not a famine of bread.
Not food.
Nor thirst.
Nor thirst. Nor thirst. He'll still drink some water.
But of hearing the words of the Lord.
But of what?
Hearing the words of the Lord.
And that's what a lot of Jakes and Eves take for granted. The more we try to push the word out, the more they push back. Right? But ultimately, the Most High then took the want to hear from them, from those people. Ultimately, we can say. But there's also going to be a time the Most High is not going to be wrong for what He does to you. Because when you ask the Most High, when you ain't gonna really have a chance to ask Him, He gonna put that memory in your mind of that time you passed camp and you cursed those brothers out and you told them to S your D or to kiss your A, or y'all look like bums, y'all look like Power Rangers, y'all doing this, y'all doing that. It's gonna come a time when you're gonna look for us, and we're not gonna be found because we have families, we got brothers and sisters. We're trying to survive on this earth at this time. This is a bad time on earth. That's the time that's been spoke about in the book of Amos, the 8th chapter. Keep reading.
Verse 12. And they shall wander from sea to sea.
And they shall do what?
Wander from sea to sea.
From east to west, north and south. They're going to wander, looking around. The earth going to be desolate. They're going to come back to that. They're going to come back to Ann Street. They're going to go to Georgia and go to Alabama Street. They're going to go to all these different streets where they knew that the men of the Lord was preaching the word. Where they forsake the word as it was coming out. Sakari, HOI, TheServants, all these Watchmen, LOI, LOZ, every acronym. They're going to be looking for us. They're going to be looking for those men that they call bums, say they bums. Why they won't shave, why they won't line their beard up, why they won't do that, why they won't get themselves together. Because that's not the time. We fishing. But after we get through hunting, after we get through surviving Jacob's trouble, we trying to get to the kingdom, and we trying to bring you along too. Go ahead. We at 13.
I'm at 12.
Keep reading.
They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord.
To do what?
To seek the word of the Lord.
To go get a hamburger.
To seek the word of the Lord.
To get a blunt.
To seek the word of the Lord.
To seek the word of the Lord. The ones that they don't want to hear now. Read.
And shall not find it.
They're going to find it in abundance. Read.
And shall not find it. In that day shall the fair virgins and young man faint for thirst.
And look, the fair virgins and the young men are gonna faint because they're not from the thirst. They're not gonna understand the scriptures. They're not gonna understand what they need to do.
Come on.
That Bible never made sense to them, and it's never gonna make sense to them. We trying to teach you what we've learned through the Spirit. Ain't nobody went to seminary school. You got brothers that the Most High put the Spirit in them, and they could just go into the Spirit and break it down. We didn't go to cemetery school. That's a school of death. You got young brothers in this truth that they could just go and trick off. Or they could just keep their Sabbath. They don't have to come outside. It's not a sin to not come outside and teach. Okay? But they take time. They provide their body as a living sacrifice. They put their life on the line to teach you wicked Jakes and Eves, man. And you run them, you try to run them up the street, but the righteous is going to stand bold as a lion. We mighty men of the Lord. Okay? Who is that, 14?
Yeah, we have 14.
Read that.
Verse 14. They that swear by the sins of Samaria and say, thy God, O Dan, liveth, and the manner of Beersheba liveth. Even they shall fall.
Right.
And never rise up again.
Right. So they're going to fall and they're not going to rise again. They're never going to be able to attain the knowledge that was offered to them during that time. Right. So let me get that article real quick. Let me get the CJ Stroud article.
Come.
Right. Because now chiefly this football player is a rookie. He came into the NFL just this year. He's in the playoffs right now. He's one of the most sensational rookies right now. Now, but at the end of the day, this man's not in the truth. But there's a point that I'm trying to drive home about the world and the fact that the word, just the mere utterance of they would say Jesus, but we know his name is Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, right? But just the mere word, the mere utterance is going to get you shut down. They don't want to push that energy of the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai in the earth no more. You know, and what is that going into? That's going into a famine of the word. Not read.
Yeah. Jewish. Let me start right here.
Not that. Not that. Right there. Right there.
Okay. After Saturday's historic win, Houston Texan quarterback CJ Stroud wanted to make sure God got the glory first.
Right. So when he won, the first thing he said is he wanted to give the Most High the glory, right? Now, is he in the truth? No. But, you know, at the end of the day, you got to still give him the credit because he is still thanking the Most High. Go ahead.
The NFL's Rookie of the Year finalist.
Rookie of the Year. He just got into the NFL. Go ahead.
Led the team to victory and was immediately interviewed by NBC.
NBC. Now, the television company NBC is who interviewed him. Go ahead.
To talk about the team's trip to the playoffs. First and foremost, Stroud said, I just want to give all glory to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
He want to do what?
Give all my glory to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Right, and we know him as Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Go ahead. Any more?
No, that's I can
get that little bit down at the bottom. Right there.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay, Slakia. That ain't it. Right there.
Okay.
No. Right there. Okay.
Stroud is well known for his athleticism.
So he's well known for being an athlete.
But also known for his deep Christian faith.
For his what?
Deep Christian faith.
Right. So he has a zeal for Yahweh Shai. He doesn't know the truth. Right? But he has a zeal, may not be a great zeal, but he has a zeal and he has a eye towards Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
Christian faith is real life. And on social media, as journalist Bobby Barak wrote, Stroud is rightfully front and center of the sports conversation. And so in his faith, in a world of intense politicization, Stroud is determined to identify unabashedly as a follower of Christ.
As a who?
Follower of Christ.
Right, so we know following Yahweh Shai is keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. But in his mind, he still believes that he's a follower of Christ. Go ahead.
But not without censorship from the media.
But not without censorship. The media wanted to censor what he said. Go ahead.
It's the Sunday Night Football on NBC. Right there.
Mm-hmm.
The Sunday Night Football on NBC account posted the interview on X. But I can't read the rest of that.
Salaki Israel. Let me see. Okay. Well, to make a long story short, NBC, they censored what he said. When he said that he wanted to give all glory to Yahweh, well, Jesus Christ, they put that he wanted to give glory to his city. Right? So they took it away. You understand? They didn't want that energy of any kind of spiritual energy to be pushed out into the earth. That's wicked as hell. That's wicked. And that's NBC. Right? Now let's find out who's behind NBC. Right? Start read right there at the top and then read all that and then read right there.
Okay. Jews had a big impact on NBC.
So the so-called Amalekite had a big impact on the network NBC. Go ahead.
The Gazette opinion staff.
Mm-hmm. So this is our research coming from the Gazette. Okay, go ahead.
Your recent article about the pending purchase of NBC by Comcast and the major role that NBC has played in the development of broadcasting left out any mention of the Jewish connection.
Right, so they didn't mention anything about them having a connection to the so-called Jews. Right, go ahead.
With this American broadcasting icon, NBC was created by David Sarnoff.
David Sarnoff,
a Russian-born American Jew.
A Russian-born American Jew. So let me stop you right there. He's a Russian-born American Jew. So basically, the people out of Russia, they have Jews in Russia. But the Jews that's in Israel always been there. The people that's in Israel right now claiming to be us, they always been there. They always been the Jews of that land. Yet, we have a Russian man who's a born Jew and became an American Jew when he moved over here. His whole family so-called Jews and they live in Russia. But he able to trace his lineage all the way back to Israel as the original Jews that the Bible speaks of. I just want to make a point on that. Keep reading.
NBC. Okay, was created by David.
Read all that.
Okay. NBC was created by David Sarnoff, a Russian-born American Jew who was succeeded by his son Robert as chairman of the board of RCA.
Right. So he was succeeded by his son, so they kept it in the family. Right. Jew on Jew. Right. Go ahead.
NBC's parent company, Milton Berger, whom you describe as American first television staff, was the son of the immigrant Jewish parents. NBC's Meet the Press, the longest running show on television, was created by another Jew.
What? By another what?
By another Jew.
So still Jews, Jewish people. Go ahead.
Lawrence Spivak, who often served as a moderator.
What is it?
And
what is it?
Moderator.
Moderator,
Salakia, and a panelist on the program.
Go ahead.
In a time when the news is filled with Shalom, Rabashkin, and Bernie Madoff, it doesn't hurt to remember the positive role that Jews have played in American life.
Right. So we know they ain't playing no positive role in American life, except using TV to program our minds and program our children. We all are offset of paid programming by the television networks by the so-called Jewish man. Okay, and the crazy part about it is C.J. Stroud, when he tried to give praise to Jesus Christ, NBC, which is ran by the Jewish man who's supposed to be the children of the Most High God, was the people that censored him and changed what he said. Right? So that's just happening right now. So again, what we going through right now is a famine of the word. Eventually, you're not going to be able to say Yahawashai. You're not going to be able to stand out on the street. You ain't going to say, they don't know what Kwam Yasharala mean right now, but eventually they're going to know what it means, and they're going to stop you from saying it. You're not going to be able to put videos out like this. You're not going to be able to watch these other camps. It's just going to be a famine of the word, right? So we're gonna start simmering down. Let's get 2nd Ezra chapter 5 and verse 1.
It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 5 and verse 1. Nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the days shall come, that they which dwell upon the earth shall be shaken in a great number.
So that day is going to come where all of us that's living on this earth is going to be shaken. Go ahead.
And the way of truth shall be hidden.
And the what?
And the way of truth shall be hidden.
Now, what's the truth? What's the truth? The law, statutes, and commandments. It's going to be hidden. You're not going to be able to find it. You're going to want to go to and fro. You're going to want to go to brothers. You may see a brother running with his children, trying to get somewhere to hide or whatever. And you're going to come up on that man, and he's going to say, hey, look, I ain't got no time for that. I got to go. I got to go. My family right here. I got to go. I don't know. I can't do nothing for you. It's sealed. Read.
And the land shall be barren of faith.
What? It's going to be what?
Barren of faith.
Now, barren, that means empty. It ain't going to be no faith. It's going to be barren of faith. Everybody's going to be doing what they want to do, worse than they doing now. Ain't going to be no faith. Go ahead.
Verse 2. But iniquity shall be increased above that which now they see it.
Now, so the iniquity that we see now is going to be increased way more than what we see right now. So if you look at there's much sin and wickedness, them little nasty Nas X, Megan the nasty boy stallion, not sexy red, all this stuff is going to be, the iniquity is going to be much higher than it is right now. So if it's going to be higher than it is right now, then how high you think it's going to be? No faith, sin is going to be higher than it is now. Go ahead.
Or that thou hast heard long ago.
Or that what you didn't heard before. You can go all the way back in the scriptures. It's going to be way worse than that. It's going to be way worse than anything you thought about. That's what's coming, y'all. We out here, we not preaching for nothing. We not teaching for nothing. This is really going down. You Eves running around here thinking that things going to stay the way it is, you're going to be destroyed in these last days, and you're going to slow your husband down. If you don't come back fully to these law, statutes, and commandments. If your husband falling off, it's your job to help build him back up. Because it's going to take both of y'all if you marry. Go ahead, read.
Verse 3. And the land that thou seest now to have root.
So all these trees that you see is taking root, the flowers blooming. It's different colors and different stars and spectrums and different stuff going around. Your seeds are coming up. You got your greens coming up. You ready to pluck them and put them in the pot. That's going to be what? Go ahead.
Shall thou see wasted suddenly.
It's going to be what?
Wasted suddenly.
It's going to be suddenly wasted. Go ahead.
Verse 4. But if the Most High grant thee to live.
Yeah, so if he grants you to live through all of this, what's going on, go ahead.
Thou shalt see after the third trumpet.
After the third trumpet.
That the sun shall suddenly shine again in the night.
Right.
And the moon thrice in the day. Verse 5. And blood shall drop out of wood. And the stone shall give his voice. And the people shall be troubled. Verse 6, and even he shall rule, whom they look not for that dwell upon the earth. And the fowls shall take their flight away together.
Right, so that bum nigga that you probably saw walking around, you gonna look up and he gonna be somewhere ruling a little part of the town, telling you whether you can get water and food. Now, where do we see this in? The book of Eli.
God.
All them people that wasn't nothing. Now you got to go for them for water and food. You got to go for them, go to them for everyone, everything, man. Just to find a clock so you can see what time it is. You know, you hoping that the clock stayed right, you know, during that time, that you can know, at least know the time of the day. You're gonna be looking for a canned good, just one. You're gonna be looking for a Bible so you can read one verse, but ain't gonna be nobody to teach you that Bible. You're just gonna have it, and it's not gonna do nothing for you, because the Most High is gonna seal it. It's gonna be sealed. Go ahead.
Verse 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places. And the animals gonna be all over the place. Them deers that you hunting down, they gonna be in your backyard. When you come out, they gonna beat you with they hooves. These animals, these black bears that we got around here, they're going to be just roaming around. They hungry, looking for something to eat. The zoos are going to be desolate. Them locks ain't going to hold them in there forever. The Most High going to put the spirit in a madman to let all of them free. And before you know it, you're going to step out and there's going to be an anaconda right there. You get in your car, it's going to be snakes all in the car. You run from that, you're going to run into a bear. You run from that, you're going to run into a lion. Go ahead. And monstrous women.
And what?
And monstrous women.
And you menstruous women. You menstruous.
Menstruous women, Salaki.
Right, go ahead.
Shall bring forth monsters.
And you're going to bring forth beasts, monsters. You know, these children that's going to come forth in that day, they're not going to be like these regular children here. They're going to be with it. And they ain't going to hate blood. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 9. And salt waters shall be found in the sweet. And all friends shall destroy one another.
And all your friends, Bob, Billy, Bob, Billy, Kurt, Kent, all of them that stay next to you. Bradley, Brooklyn, Hudson, all of them that stay next to you. Rusty, yeah, Rusty. That dirty Edomite that all he do is snuff all day. He got snuff and dip in his mouth all day, spit.
God.
That one he used to let you borrow his lawnmower sometime when yours went out. He gonna be knocking at your door. Hey, how you doing there? You know, hey, you think you got something in there to eat? I ain't got nothing to eat. I'm struggling just like you. All right. After a while, he gonna come back a few times, and that knock gonna get harder. And he gonna have his whole family out there on their knees. And you gonna say, I told you, I ain't had nothing. And one of them children gonna run past you. And then he gonna run past you. And they gonna beat you and kill you and hang you. That's the day that's coming. That famine. Go ahead. Physical famine and spiritual famine. Go ahead.
And all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself.
So what?
Wit hide itself.
That wit, that smart is gonna hide itself. Wit is the law, statutes, and commandments. Having that wit is gonna hide itself from the world. Go ahead.
And understanding withdraw itself.
And what?
And understanding withdraw itself.
And understanding is gonna start to withdraw itself from the earth. So you're not gonna have that wit and understanding out in the earth that we bring out when we teach the wit of the Bible, the understanding. It's not going to be here. It's just going to be waste with menstruous babies running around here. Wicked people and children. And what we going to be? We're going to be somewhere trying to hide. Go ahead.
withdraw itself and understanding withdraw itself into his secret chamber.
It's gonna hide. That understanding gonna be in the secret chamber. That wisdom, that the rock, what was it? The rock Kodash. It's gonna hide itself. That wisdom, that knowledge, that understanding. It's not gonna be here on the earth anymore. Go ahead.
Verse 10. And shall be sought of many.
It's gonna be what?
Be sought of many.
And people it's gonna be sought after by many, that understanding, that them laws, statutes, and commandments. Right? The breakdowns. The dark sayings. They're gonna want to know what's coming up next, and they're not gonna know. They're gonna want to know what the prophecies is. What does it mean when the moon gets red? What does it mean when this happens? What's the next prophecy? What's going on? And guess what? The only people that's gonna know them is the prophets, the ones that you cussed out. That famine of the word is coming very soon. Go ahead.
And yet not be found. Then,
where you at?
Oh, hold on.
11?
Yeah, I'm on verse 11.
Go ahead.
One land also shall ask another.
So one man is going to ask another. Go ahead.
And say, is righteousness that maketh a man righteous gone through thee?
Have you seen any righteousness? You ever seen any righteous man? Did he come past here? Did any kind of righteousness pass through here? Because it ain't going to be nothing but Meg the damn Stallion, man. Folks getting freaked off.
God.
Dumb nonsense, ignorant TV, ignorant nonsense all day, every day on YouTube, man. I'm sick of it. That's all it's going to be on the earth. You're not going to be able to live like that. He's going to be looking for righteousness in that day. He's not going to be able to find it. Go ahead.
And it shall say no.
What is it going to say?
No.
Hell no. I ain't seen no righteousness around here. Go ahead.
Verse 12. At the same time shall men hope, but nothing obtain.
They're going to hope, but they're not going to obtain anything. They're going to hope for that knowledge. They're going to hope that they run into one of them brothers with them fringes on. At least Eve would friend anybody. But that Eve ain't going to, hey, my husband, I ain't talking to you. I'm gone. My husband right there. She's going to be in order. She's not going to give you any kind of information. So you got to seek the Lord now while he is nigh. That's the whole point of the lesson, right? Now, with that, let me get Isaiah 29 and 11. We starting to simmer down a little bit, Israel. And if y'all learned anything today, then we did our job. Right? Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and verse 11. And the vision of all is becoming to you as the words of a book that is sealed.
That is what?
That is sealed.
And the vision is going to come to you in the words of a book that is sealed. The book is going to be sealed. Not saying it's not going to be a book, but they're going to start burning these books in a minute. Esau finna start burning these books in a big pile. And they're going to reach in your bag with their nasty hands and pull your book out, and they're going to burn it right there in front of you because they don't want this. Esau never wanted this. He never wanted to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. If you can get it, even from the time of Cain, when that spirit was about, he did not want to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. All he had to do was go back and bring another sacrifice unto the Lord, and he was unwilling to do it. His countenance fell. Still to this day, he don't want to keep it. He knows that you think he don't know Amos 1 and 11? You think he don't know these precepts? He knows that there's no Hebrews. You think he don't know that? Romans? This man knows that there's nothing in store for him. And he's going to do his best to keep it out of the earth. And he don't care if you get it. You got precept? Did you just say precept? Okay, go ahead. Keep reading.
Which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, read this.
Right, so they're going to go to a man that's learned, that knows the precept. They're going to, They're going to go to him. They're going to say, hey, read this and give me the understanding of it. What the man going to say?
I pray thee.
He said, I pray that please give me the understanding of what's in this book. Right?
And he said, I cannot, for it is sealed.
What the man of the Lord going to say?
For it is sealed.
From the top, they're going to say what? I can what? I cannot, right?
I cannot.
Why?
For it is sealed.
Because the book is sealed.
Ain't
nothing else I can do for you, baby. You're done. You're cooked. The book is sealed. Then they're going to run away from that man that is learned, and they're going to go to the what? They're going to read that?
And the book is delivered to him. And the book is delivered to him that is not learned.
That is unlearned. He going to go to somebody that don't know nothing, hoping that he can get them to do something. And what he going to say?
Saying, read this, I pray thee.
Read this book. Read it. Please, go ahead.
And he saith,
what?
I am not learned.
Hey, I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what's in this book, man. I don't know what it is. What's that, man? Yahweh, I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know. That's what's coming to the earth. And you thinking it's a game. It's not a game. The Most High is about to be darkness. Not just from the sun or the bombs or the nuclear bombs, but the light. The light is still here. It's still a glimmer of light. And you need to be seeking that thing. You need to be seeking that thing in these last days, man. Now, let me get Jeremiah 30 and 3. We about to wind down here in a minute, Israel. Once again, if you learn anything in this lesson, we did our job, man. And you know, we appreciate you guys for listening and subscribing.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30 and verse 3. For lo, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah.
And who?
And Judah.
Right, so the Most High is going to come in these last days, and he's going to redeem the northern and southern kingdom. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers.
Israel.
And they shall possess it. Verse 4, and these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. Verse 5, for thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Verse 6, ask ye now, and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Right,
so it's a question mark right there. So they're asking, do a man travail like he's with child? No. You know what I'm saying? Women travail like that, like they with child, right? Go ahead.
Wherefore do I see every man?
So why am I seeing every man
with his hand on his loins?
He got his hands on his loins down there. And what he doing?
As a woman in travail.
As a woman. He looking like a woman just in the corner, scared. What's happening? What's going on? Why in this vision is Jeremiah seeing a man not being a man? A man got his hands by his genitals trembling. Go ahead.
And all faces are turned into paleness.
And all faces are turned pale. Now, does that mean everybody look like the so-called white man? No. It's just they fear the oils, the natural light of their face is gone. Go ahead.
Verse 7, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it.
So it's going to be a day that's coming. It's not going to be like any other day that you've seen. We just read that going back. Go ahead.
It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
It is what?
Even the time of Jacob's trouble.
It's Jacob's trouble. That time is coming where Israel's going to be just, as pilgrims on the earth. They're going to be, what's the word I'm looking for, Israel? They're going to be foraging for food and foraging for life, man. They're not going to have no time to sit down and break down Daniel, the book of Daniel for you. They're not going to be able to break down Revelations 1 and 13. They're not going to tell you about Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. They're not going to break it down with Exodus 20 and 2. They're not going to show you the curses. They're not going to be able to, they're not going to care about that at that time. It's going to be the time of Jacob's trouble. All hell going to be breaking loose, man. Go ahead.
But he shall be saved out of it.
But he's going to be saved out of it. The one that was diligent, the one that was out here teaching the people, the one that was out here doing what he was supposed to do. This is the time that you guys could be coming back to the Most High and sealing the elect, because this book is going to be sealed. It's going to be a famine of the word coming up very soon. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 8. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck.
Come on, pause. Let's get 2nd Ezra 16 and 35, and we're going to wrap it up.
Come. 2nd Ezra 13 and 35?
16 and 35.
Salaki. The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 35. Hear now these things and understand them. Ye servants of the Lord.
Ye what?
Servants of the Lord.
Right, because we the servants of the Lord. Go ahead.
Verse 36. Behold, the word of the Lord. Receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spoke. Verse 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack.
Right, it's plagues coming. And they're not going to slack. They're going to continue to barrel towards us until it's up on you. And once it's up on you, that's it. That plague, that famine of the word. We got all kind of different COVIDs coming out. It's a lot of things that you could be taken away from right now without even retaining anything that you've learned, anything that you've seen. You walking by a camp with no understanding. Go ahead.
Verse 38. As when a woman with child in the 9th month.
It's gonna get that bad. Y'all, if y'all got wives and you sisters, you understand in the 9th month, hey, that's almost the worst time when you get ready to offload that child of Israel. It's the worst. It's bearing down on you. You're heavy, you're sweating, you're going through it. That time is coming again. We just read about it in Jacob's trouble. But go ahead.
Bringeth forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of her birth. Great pains compass her womb. Which pains? When the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Verse 39. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. And the whole and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. Oh, my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle. And in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth.
Be even what?
Be even as pilgrims upon the earth.
Right, so he's saying, my people, prepare yourself for that battle. Right? Because we're going to be like pilgrims on the earth. We're not going to be here to tell you and break down the book of Ezekiel. We're not going to be here, right? And there's going to be a famine of the word, right? So even going into C.J. Stroud and in all these different instances where the Jewish man is trying to block even the name of Hamashiach Yahushua as they know it as Jesus, right? These things are going to come to pass. And, we encourage all Israel to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, right? They come back to your original nationality, according to the Most High God, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, right? So with that, we're going to give all praise, honor, and glorification to the Most High God, Yahweh B'Shem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. We are the Servants Assembly, South Alabama, and we're going to say Shalom.
Shalom, King. Shalom, King.
Repenting on a daily basis. You better thank the Most High some of us brothers repented, because we probably be robbing you niggas and checking your pockets.